Hello, and welcome back once again to Doomed, solo playthroughs through Arkham Horror the card game with a focus on roleplay and storytelling. And of course, today we are returning to the very exciting Dream Eaters campaign, Luke Robinson through the dreaming side of the Dream Eaters. Hello one, hello all. I'm pretty jazzed to be back, as I always am. I really enjoy these storytelling experiences, especially when we're part way through a campaign. We can kind of... We're along for the ride now, and I don't know what conclusion it's coming to. It's probably going to be pretty bad, though. So we're going to have to see how we get there. As always, if you're watching this in the VOD, head on down to the video description, where I linked a timestamp to when we actually get going. Crosshair is correct. We have played through now two scenarios each on the dreaming side and the waking side. This is scenario 3A, Dark Side of the Moon, the Pink Floyd-inspired episode, of course. And there are 4 per side, so we are exactly halfway through the campaign. Do I have any, business to get into? Crosshair has called what the 4 first tokens of the game are going to be. So I've written those down. Because honestly, even if you get one of these in the correct order, Crosshair, I'm going to be thrilled. It's going to be very exciting. What if you get all 4? Okay, it doesn't matter. You've, gone in and rewritten the codes that it pulls those for. Yeah. The Abyss chuckles now, does it? As always, of course, as well, let me know if there's a pretty decent balance between music and my voice, because there's no sound effects in the game, of course. Do I have any other, starting to get used to? Max. 2 seconds. Max, stop that. Get out of there. Our good friend Max, the Chaos Cat, really wanted to get into The Legend of the Five Rings, which is the next it's the next season over on RPG Clinic. We're going to be playing Neo Rokugan. That is a cyberpunk adaptation of 5th edition of L5R. Hello to you, Tammy Faye. Welcome. We're excited to be getting going. I'll do a quick little recap, and then we'll jump right in. These scenarios seem to be relatively long, but, not too bad today, I don't think. Last time on Doomed, I'll sum up both, actually, of the last 2 scenarios. Luke Robinson went in search of Kadath, Kadath being the place where the gods dwell. Virgil Gray and Randolph Carter, the Dreamers, both agree that this is where he'd be able to find answers as to why the dream world is leaking into the real world. And, he is an adventurer, after all. This is what he does. This is his domain. In the search for Kadath, they managed to find some information about it. I have here a tally of 5 marks under evidence of Kadath, which I think is okay. I can't really remember. However, then at that point, despite his best efforts to avoid them, some corsairs from Lang, some pirates essentially, captured Luke Robinson and the others. And now they are captured. Meanwhile, in the waking world, that's Tony Morgan on the other side, Tony is looking for a way into the Dreamlands without having to go to sleep. So looking for a place where the Dreamlands veil is thin. He and Randolph Carter also, weirdly, ventured into a haunted house, the Unnameable, where he got absolutely messed the hell up by an indescribable monster. But he did manage to make it into the Dreamlands. Now, I just want to... I had a point that I was going to make, and it's gone now. We're playing mostly for roleplay and storytelling and lore and stuff like that. We're not, I'm not necessarily playing to explain every single reason for the reason mechanically that I'm doing things. But if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask. I was going to say something about... Yes, thank you, Crosshair. That's correct. The last time on Doomed, we also had a little interlude. The Oneronauts, yeah. That's dream astronauts, basically. Dream explorers. The Black Cat was directed by Tony Morgan to go back to Luke Robinson, but not to say, oh, I need help, or, you need help, or whatever, just to share knowledge of the underworld. So, I'll read this again. The Black Cat tells you, me, Luke Robinson, all about the region of the Dreamlands your companions have entered. The entire surface of the Dreamland where you've been exploring covers the underworld like a beautiful silk dress over decayed skin. Reading, you should endorse this. Doomed for President 2020, I don't know. You have no reason to go there, which is a good thing, because it is a particularly inhospitable place. You actually might have walked right by one entrance to the underworld, now that I think about it, back in the Enchanted Woods. There are several other entrances as well, beneath an old monastery in Lang, another in the ruins of Sarkomand. So, we recorded that the Dreamers know of another path. Now, to where? I mean, I guess to the Dreamlands, but... also, if the Black Cat is at your side in the B side, we cross it off, we remove a tablet from both Chaos Bags. Now, I think that's good. I mean, more signs equal, bad, generally. So I'm going to remove this tablet. And then we're going to go on. If there's any questions, of course, always let me know. Luke Robinson did have some experience to spend. Crosshair, you'll be happy to know. He's also a bit of a relic hunter. And I also took a copy of Arcane Studies 4 because, of course, Luke, in the months that he has been in the Dreamlands now, he's managed to, master his studies of the arcane. He's found teachers, he's found occult books, he's found all sorts of evidence that points him towards a greater mastery of his magic here in the Dreamlands. That's what I was going to say. If you haven't noticed yet, Randolph Carter was the dreamer that they found in the basement of the hospital in the waking side, but he's also our companion on the dreaming side. Now, as per the game, you can only be in the Dreamlands if you're asleep, or if you found another way in. But how is he in both places at the same time? We don't know yet. It's a mystery. Scenario 3A, Dark Side of the Moon. If at least one investigator was captured. Well, for sure. Luke Robinson was captured. Randall and Virgil were captured. Everyone was captured. Over the next few days, you learn more about your captors, but nothing about the Black Galley's destination. It seems the Corsairs who hunted you down and captured you were only agents of a much greater evil. A race of grayish-white toad-like creatures with no eyes and slippery skin concealed beneath a loose disguise of silken clothing. You notice the creatures tend to stay below deck, and none of them deign to interact with you at all. Despite their disguises, the mere sight of one makes you retch. I'm thinking of the Vogons from Hitchhiker's Guide. If they are indeed masters of the Corsairs, this cannot bode well for you. You're kept apart from Virgil and suspect that he's on a different ship entirely. More days pass. You have no way of telling how long it's been since your capture. You've been kept well fed. I mean, that is, if being forced to eat bitter porridge from a dirty clay bowl counts as well fed. What concerns you most is the ship itself. Though you're sure it's still moving, you no longer feel it rock back and forth as the waves push it from side to side, nor do you hear the sound of ocean or gulls calling over the coast. In fact, you hear very little at all now. Only the occasional commands of one of the beasts from below deck and the shouting of Corsairs in reply. No churning sea, no wind in the sails, nothing at all. Panic seizes your mind. What if you are destined for some strange port from which there can be no return? Could they have sailed off the face of the planet somehow? You have to do something. Escape somehow. You try desperately to come up with a plan of action, but in vain. Corsairs relentlessly patrol the brig, and even if you manage to slip past your bonds and sneak past them, where would you go? Just as you begin to lose hope, a familiar face descends from the top deck. It is the ship captain you hired in Dyleth Lean, a chubby, middle-aged fellow with a bushy beard and a long hair pulled into a bun atop his head. He peeks around, realizes that he's alone, and runs to your side. "I am so sorry, friends," he stammers quietly. "I had no idea who I was dealing with. I was tricked, I swear. I didn't know. He trails off, red-faced with guilt. You aren't entirely sure what he means, but obviously he had something to do with your capture. Regardless, he's your only chance at escape. You tell him all will be forgiven if he helps you. "Oh, yeah, I'll forgive you. Yeah, get the hell, get me off this ship." He ponders for a moment, looks around, then finally nods and slices through your bonds with a curved knife. Freedom has never tasted so sweet. You stretch your aching muscles and search nearby for your belongings, but there's little time to waste. Keeping a lookout, your rescuer whispers, "There may be a rowboat you can use on the top deck, but you'll have to be quiet as mice. If they spot..." His voice suddenly catches in his throat, along with a sharp, jagged blade. Yikes. He makes a dreadful gurgle as blood wells in his mouth and he collapses. Behind him, a corsair flashes a sadistic grin at his next victims. You. If at least one investigator was not captured, that's not true, so we go to setup. Setup! So I'm just going to make sure that I haven't missed anything here. We take all the things, we put them into play. Check the campaign log. If at least one investigator was captured, put the set-aside Moon Beast Galley into play, revealed side face up. It has no unrevealed side. Instead, it has a story card. Fine. Each investigator who was captured begins play there. For each investigator who begins the game in Moon Beast Galley, place 2 additional clues on it from the token bank. Okay. So we'll go and find the Moon Beast Galley. There it is. I assume it goes there because there's little arrows. Oh. Okay, it's not. It's like literally not connected to anything, so I'm just going to put it like up here, I guess. Let's have a look at Moon Beast Galley, shall we? You cannot enter or leave it via player card effects. I mean, that's a flying Viking ship, by the way. That's pretty slick. That's pretty slick. Free trigger, if there are no clues remaining on it, flip it over. At the end of the round, forced, if there are 3 or more doom in play, flip it over. Okay, so there's 1 clue on it, plus 2, because there's 1 investigator in the game, so there's 3 clues on a 3-shroud location. Doesn't feel great to start there. Check the campaign log. If Randolph was captured, for sure, search each investigator's deck for Randolph Carter and set him aside. Set the following cards aside. Okay, I'll do that. I'm just going to find Randolph. I mean, that's rough, too. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Randolph, buddy. So he's out of the deck. Place 1 doom on each investigator card. This doom represents that investigator's current alarm level. It does not count as doom. It doesn't count towards the doom threshold, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's look up this alarm level business, but we start with 1, it sounds like, whatever that means. I'm going to put a doom on Luke Robinson there. Alarm level. The setup of this scenario instructs the players to place a doom on each investigator as their alarm level. Fine. The investigators attempt to escape from the grasp of the moon beasts. Their respective alarm levels may increase or decrease based on their actions and decisions. A higher alarm level means you're closer to being discovered, which will significantly hinder your attempts to escape. Got it. Keep it low. Got it. If an effect raises that level, alarm level, place that much doom on the card. Okay. Even though it's marked using doom, it's not doom. It has no effect on its own. Fine. Okay, great. That's it. Okay. All right, so we're going to start here on this 3-shroud, 3-clue location that I can't leave because I'm trapped. It's weird. It said I was confronted with a corsair who stabbed the dude. But, like, how did we get away? Yeah, we're starting, that's for sure. I'm just going to save real quick. It's so strange. Okay. Agenda 1A, silence stirring. The silence of this place is deafening. There is no wind whistling through the air, no chirping of birds, no idle sound of any kind. This is a dead world. Crosshair? Sounds an awful lot like Calvin and Carolyn in space. Though you know danger lurks around every corner, you hear no sign of the beasts, nor the corsairs who call this place home. Okay, you must remain even quieter in order to stay hidden. 5 doom. Not great. Act 1A. In the belly of the moon beast. Oh, I love this art. Look at this. So cute. It's it's like Roland Banks and who is that? Maybe Daisy? I don't know. Someone. They're just kind of like hiding behind a ruined wall on what is clearly the moon while a ship flies overhead and Earth is visible in the distance. Virgil Grey is held captive somewhere in the vast, strange city of the moon beasts. You must be quiet and cunning if you are to find him and escape unnoticed. Only investigators at the City of the Moonbeast may spend the requisite number of clues as a group to advance. 3 clues. There are 3 clues on my location. So if I get off of here, if I get all the clues from it, I can flip it over. Maybe then it'll just dump me out in the City of the Moonbeasts. I think we're ready to get started. As always, I am, terrified of what will happen. Especially now that we are apparently on the dark side of the moon. I don't like. Can we breathe up here? What's happening? Let's get started. Let's get doomed. Draw 5 in my opening hand. That's a weakness. We put that back right away. That's also a weakness. This is boding very well. We put that back right away. Okay, let's have a look. Crystal Pendulum is great to start. Read the Signs is really good because I need these clues and I don't have intellect. I'm going to put the Astounding Revelation back. Promise of Power is so good, but I don't think I want it right away. I do like the idea of a spell to hurt people, but I also have Gatebox immediately. Exactly, reading. How else did Pink Floyd survive long enough to make the album? You know, if you play Dark Side of the Moon and at the same time they start Wizard of Oz, they like sync up, man. I love coincidental patterns. You know, I feel like if given enough sort of time, you can just like link any two things. Well, yeah, exactly, Crosshair. In this universe, there absolutely must be. But yes, generally, I tend to agree. Do I keep the Spectral Razor? What am I looking for? I'm looking for your friend and mine, the hunter of rare books, Witten Green. That's who I need. And money. I really need Witten, actually. No, this is fine. This is fine. I'm going to mull 2. Oh, Promise of Power and Armageddon. Fine. Don't really want Armageddon yet. Okay. So we've already revealed our location. Luke is, of course, now free on the Moonbeast Galley. I like to think that he popped into his gatebox really quick, but because he doesn't know where he is, he can't explore the rest of the moon's surface, so he had to just pop back out onto the galley, but in a different place. So he managed to escape the Corsair for now. That's how I'm going to play it. Okay, first action. Naturally, we've got our Crystal Pendulum here. I feel like that's going to be very useful. Extra willpower. He's got his charm that he's going to use. Yeah, there you go, reading. Exactly. How dare you? Second action, we're going to read the signs. Reading the signs, of course... whoops, sorry, it's only cost 2, not 3. A grisly future is laid before you. Do you turn away, or do you embrace it? This is... Luke Robinson is pleading with the powers that be, you know, sort of some sort of vision of the future here in the Dreamlands. He's using his premonitory abilities that he's mastered to try to figure out where to go next, how to get off the ship, how to avoid the bad people. Investigate. Add your will to your skill value for this investigation. If you succeed, discover an additional clue. You can ignore effects or keywords that would trigger. Fine. Okay. Add your will to your investigation value. So I'm 8 to 3. I really want to hit Crystal Pendulum here. And oh, geez, I probably should look at what the tokens do as well, eh? The tokens are, let's see, Skull, minus X, half your alarm value, rounded up. Okay, that's 1. Cultist reveal another token. If you fail and your alarm level is higher than your skill, you have to draw the top card of the encounter deck. Tablet is only minus 1. And then I don't have any Elder things, so I don't get any Black Cat help. 8 to 3. A lot of minus 1s in the bag. And Crosshair also predicted a minus 1, so... I'm going to say succeed by 4. You did say minus 1, not plus 1, eh, Crosshair? Yeah, let's do it. So 8 to 3. That is not a minus 1, but the number on it, Crosshair, it represents a minus 1. So we are going to take it. And we're going to say you are half right. It is a minus... We'll take it, Crosshair. We'll take it for sure. Crystal Pendulum fires. So I'm going to draw a card. Ooh, that's going to be a good card. And we get 2 clues from this location. It's actually, honestly, pretty decent. Pretty decent. And then, let's see. Last action, I don't want to stir up trouble on the ship. I mean, I do want to stir up trouble on the ship. That sounds awesome. But I don't need... Oh, of course! I can just investigate straight 3 to 3. The problem is if I draw another tablet, I'm going to raise my alarm level by 1. Which which I don't want to do. So, F it, we're committing a promise of power. Crazy talk that we're starting here. Here we are. I'm going to investigate 3 to 3, but with 4 additional icons. So 7 to 3 for this last investigation. This is Luke Robinson having read the signs. He's starting to figure out a way forward. There are glimpses of this rowboat, as it were, sort of escape vessel near the top, near the stern of the ship. And with a promise of power, he's hoping to be able to get there. Not an elder sign, unfortunately, but I'll make a little X for that one. But it's still a success. Oh, I should have added a curse. I'm not gonna. No, I have to redraw. I should have added the curse first. So I'm redrawing this one, Crosshair. So you still have another kick at the can. A +1, which is technically the effect on my elder sign. So I'm actually going to give you 0.5 for that one as well, buddy. Anyway, success. We get the last clue. And, even though it's the end of my turn, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it right away. If there are no clues remaining on it, flip it over. Off the galley. If there were no clues on this card when it was flipped, read the following. Moving as stealthily as you can, you find a dinghy tied to the side of the ship. 2 oars left inside. If this galley can move through space using oars, surely the lifeboat can too. What? Making sure to stay as quiet as possible, you hop inside the small boat and make your escape. Using the oars to push the lack of air around. It's magic. Don't think about it. Move each investigator here to the Moon Forest. Remove this card from the game, discarding all enemies here. Okay, oh, that's fine. But we go to the Moon Forest, which is down here. As the coast drew nearer and the hideous stench of that city grew stronger, he saw upon the jagged hills many forests, some of whose trees he recognized as akin to that solitary moon tree in the enchanted wood of earth, from whose sap the small brown zoogs ferment their peculiar wine. I think we had wine from the moon tree. It definitely sounds like a dream. Okay. The Moon Forest is a 4-shroud, 1-clue location. Action, test agility 5 to hide among the trees. If you succeed, reduce your alarm level by 1. Free trigger during your turn, except during another action. Evade. If you fail, raise your alarm by 1. I'm probably not going to be evading too much. This has victory 1. It says victory 1. I don't know what the clues are for, though. Do I want them? I need to go to the City of the Moon Beasts with my 3 clues. So, Luke manages to, through his premonitory sort of like mystic abilities, he manages to find a way off the ship, and he rows gently down to the surface of the moon, on which and then takes cover in the forest, because of course he will be discovered soon. Let's upkeep. We'll draw a card and gain a resource. Deep knowledge. I'll take. Yeah, I'll definitely take that. Mythos Phase, we go to 1 out of 5 Doom. We draw our first encounter card. Forced into hiding. This is obviously because the above them, the galley makes an abrupt turn, and he can hear the distant sound of sirens. Revelation, test will X. X is your alarm level. Okay, if you fail, lose an action. If you fail by 3 or more, if you fail by 5 or more. Okay, well, I have 1 alarm level. So I'm just going to test 5 to 1 here. I'm going to hit Crystal Pendulum and say that I'm going to pass by 3. Yeah, done. Done like dinner. So 5 minus 1 is 4 to 1. I passed by 3. I'll draw a card from Crystal Pendulum. Not a skull. Oh shoot! Sorry, Crosshair. It was a symbol. It was a tablet with a symbol though. It was a token with a symbol. So I'm gonna give you 0.25 for that one. And you're saying the next one will be a tentacle, huh? Okay. All right. So Luke makes a dash for the Moon Forest and manages to find cover amongst the trees as the galley sweeps overhead, Lights are turned on, but much too late to catch him, and they disappear into the distance. Okay, what do we want to do here? I want wit and green. I want wit and green. I want money. What's my money situation in this deck? Is it just Astounding Revelations? God, what an idiot. What have I done? Or do we just keep going? Here's a question. Do I want to clear this location? I like victory points. Give me that for free. Do I want to clear this location? I could go a couple up here. I should just deep knowledge to start. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use, obviously, here in the Moon Forest, Luke is completely out of his depth. Low alarm as of now. No one's coming for him yet. But naturally, what he's going to do first is use his deep knowledge of the Dreamlands to try to piece together where to go. So I'm going to play deep knowledge, and I'm going to add 2 curses to the bag to draw 3 cards. Great. No baddies, no weaknesses. You love to see it. Crosshair is correct. Probably won't come back. So instead, we should get this clue now. If there's any 2 clue locations, I'm going to feel silly not using Stirring Up Trouble for that. But I already have the clues I need, right? So, like, I may as well just... Yeah, you're right. Let's stir up some trouble. This is wild. As an additional cost to play Stirring Up Trouble, add curse tokens to the bag equal to Shroud and discover 2 clues. That's 4 more curse tokens. The reason I'm being so blasé about curse tokens is because Luke, of course, has made a covenant with some sort of horrible god. He doesn't know this naturally, but his powers here in the Dreamland are the result of a blasphemous covenant. When I reveal a curse token, I can exhaust it to treat the modifier as +1 instead of -2. But you still have to draw more, so it's still good to be up on the test. Okay. Oh, fantastic. I don't think she can take it, which is too bad. There is a Blessed Covenant, though. Have a look at that one. Let's go... I need to get to the City of the Moon Beasts. I'm going to go to the Temple of the Moon Lizard. Okay. The dead temples on the mountains were so placed that they could have glorified no wholesome or suitable gods. And in the symmetries of the broken columns that seemed to lurk some dark and inner meaning which did not invite solution. So last action, I'm moving into the Temple of the Moon Lizard. This is a 3 shroud, 1 clue location. It says, action test will 5 to hide inside the Forbidden Temple. If you succeed, reduce your alarm level by 1. Okay, it has a victory point. After you discover any number of clues at the Temple of the Moon Lizard, take that much horror or discard that many cards from your hand. That's honestly fine. That's honestly fine. Luke's knowledge of the moon does not extend very far, but he had heard it spoken numerous times in the Dreamlands of this sort of species that lives up there and worships some sort of moon lizard. He makes his way through the forest to the temple, hopefully, or hoping that the temple, of course, is on the outskirts of the city where Virgil Grey is being kept. We're going to go to upkeep because there's no enemies on the board. That's too bad. That's what I was hoping wouldn't happen. I drew the card that's like kind of my economy. It's too bad. Okay, that's fine. Mythos, we go to 2 out of 5 Doom. We're still here. It's still silent. We're in the Temple of the Moon Lizard. I'm going to draw an encounter card. Dreamer's Curse! What is happening here? This guy's dreaming that he's being attacked by a cat, I think, because there's claw marks on him. Test will 5. For each point you fail by, take a damage to a maximum of 3. For the purposes of committing icons to the skill test, non-matching tokens count as matching, and willpower and wild count as 2. Okay, so I have 5 will, so I'm 5 to 5. I don't want to fail this. I don't want to fail this. I'm happy to commit an Armageddon to this. Why not? I have 2. I have 2. I don't need 2. So I'm going to go in 6 to 5. Well, it says to a maximum of 3 damage, but you are correct, Crosshair. That would be legitimately devastating. Oh, thank God. Okay, that is also a symbol token, so I'm going to give you 0.25. So Crosshair, your total score is 1.5. Congratulations. Oh, there's the skull. Oh, that was the third. Okay. So the next one will be a tentacle. Okay, I was at 6 to 5, and the skull is -1. So in fact, I pass. Phenomenal. Luke's mind briefly kicks back against the reality of what he's seeing. This temple of the moon lizard, this otherworldly statue and columns in front of him start to just lightly moving the goalposts. No big deal. Don't worry about it. Okay. And we're back around to the Mythos phase, or the investigation phase. Okay. Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm taking a resource so that we can put your friend and mine, Witten Green, into play and go down to 0, which doesn't feel very good. Witten Green, the hunter of rare books, is our friend. She manages to, she's of course been along for the ride, but now she had been essentially catatonic through the majority of her voyage with Luke on the strange little rowboat. She now comes into herself looking at around the Temple of the Moon Lizard, trying to identify the various carvings on the walls, and in fact she even stumbles across an old manuscript in a language that, of course, she would have no idea how to decipher, but she is thrilled about it. While you control a tome or relic, like the gate box, you get +1 will and +1 intellect. I love to see that. After you reveal a location or put a new location into play, exhaust Witten Green to search the top 9 for tomes or relics, but it also will give me money, hopefully. Let's investigate. I really want this Temple of the Moon. Do I want to try to reduce my alarm level? No, it's fine. I want to get this clue. Because I'm here, right? I can also just move. No, it's fine. Let's go for it. I have 4 intellect now with Witten. I'm going to commit Astounding Revelation to be 5 to 3. And I'm going to hit Crystal Pendulum to say succeed or fail by 1. Luke is investigating this temple to see if there's any obvious path to the city of the Moon Beasts or any obvious reason that he shouldn't go there. Curse. Okay, so hang on. I have to do this math again. I was 5 to 3, and I said succeed or fail by 1. I'm going to make that a +1. So I'm 6 to 3. -2 is 4 to 3. Woof. And skull is -1. 0. So that's a success. Sorry, not 0. Sorry, -1. But I succeed or fail by 0. So I remove 1 curse token from the bag, and I take this clue. Yo-ho. Not bad, Witten Green, not bad. They managed to find the path that leads directly to the city of the Moon Beasts. Again, I'm going to go into upkeep here. Draw a card, gain a resource. Hawkeye folding camera. I need money stat. When I move in, I'll be able to search, maybe get an Astounding Revelation for some money, put down the camera. Yeah, I'm not feeling good about it, Crosshair, I agree. We go to 3 out of 5 Doom. And our encounter card here, the Temple of the Moon Lizard. What the F is this? Can we talk about this art for a second? This is the cats from Saturn. What? It's a what? It's a 2/2/2 swarming X. X is your alarm level, or the highest alarm level among investigators if there's no active. Okay, so my alarm level is 1, so it has swarming 1. After the host cats from Saturn moves or is evaded, discard 1 of its swarm cards. Well, that's interesting, but it's a 2/2/2. Oh, but I can just get out of here, right? Will I want to is the question. Yeah, but how am I going to evade it? 3/2? Actually, that's not bad, eh? And then I can just keep running, and then I can run from it while it kind of does its thing. 3/2 is not that bad. Can I do any better? If I had a resource, I could play Sword Cane, which feels really good here. I don't have the money for anything. The other possibility is to hide in the gate box, pop back out at the Moon Forest, and go the other way through the Dark Crater. It doesn't evade them, but then I still get rid of the swarm, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I think I'm going to try evading. Okay. Luke Robinson sees his path forward, and suddenly Witten Green draws in a deep hiss of a breath. Or so he thinks. Turning around, the hiss comes not from Witten Green, who is standing perfectly stock still, terrified, but in fact from creatures that, well, they can only truly be described as aliens, but if they had to resemble anything, it would clearly be cats. I am going to try to evade this. I don't want to waste too much time, but like if I can, I'll get my card back, my swarm card. So let's just try to evade 3 to 2 straight in. Curse +1. I had to. No, Uranus is too far away, Crosshair. It's too far away to get here in time, you know? Saturn's much closer. Okay, hang on. So I was 3 to 2. That's +1, so now I'm 4 to 2. Draw another token. 2 to 2. Less good. Tablet -1. Balls. Okay, remove a curse. I failed. They don't have alert, but if you fail, raise your alarm level by 1. That's what I was hoping wouldn't happen here. I should have hit Crystal Pendulum. I still can. Oh, but now there's like, I don't have Blasphemous Covenant available. I mean, it's, you know, it's not undrew Crosshair, is it? Nah, F it. I'm using the gate box. Luke attempts to dive through the sort of altar to safety, but is confronted by 3 more cats on the other side. He motions to Witten, pulls out the gate box, and vanishes. Gatebox is a free trigger. Disengage from each enemy engaged with you. Search your bonded cards for Dreamgate Wondrous Journey, put it into play, move to it. Whee! This is Dreamgate, a 1 shroud, 0 clue location. It's connected to each other in revealed location and vice versa. Nothing can get in except Luke. I'm going to hit Witten Green because I'm here. Witten, this is a new location, so I'm searching the top 9 cards of my deck for a tome or relic. Witten Green is astounded, as she always is, by the speed at which accessing this dream gate happens. She's just kind of wandering around. Yes, there it is. Astounding Revelation. There's like a whole archetype of Seeker decks that's based on drawing cards, and a whole archetype of Seeker decks that's based on searching for cards. It's fascinating. There's like professors in Arkham, like gather knowledge, right? So they draw cards. But researchers in Arkham look for a specific thing. So they search their deck. So, you know, you can play Daisy Walker the Librarian as a researcher or a hoarder of information. The student can also be played in both ways. But the researcher, you want to research. The professor, you want to draw cards. It's fascinating stuff. Okay, we're looking for a tome or a relic. These are all skills and stuff. I'm just looking through what we have. We only have 1, but I will definitely take it. It's the Hemispheric Map. And I get 2 resources from Astounding Revelation, which feels very good. I bet no one's based a Carolyn deck. I'm going through it as fast as they can. Hey, oh no, I take a horror from going for my deck. Oh no. Not such a big deal. While I'm here, I can play an event as if I were at a connecting location. So I could play... But I'm not going to, right? I'm going to just keep moving. So I'm safe in here, but when I bamf out of the Dream Gate, I'll have to go to one of the revealed locations, which means I'm going to get hit by the cats. Luke Robinson manages to, quite happily, arrive in his Dream Gate, take a deep breath, and realize that he can't go through the temple. He needs to go back through the Moon Forest and out the other side to get around to the City of the Moon Beasts. So, second action, leave the gate to go to the Moon Forest. Third action, move over here to the Dark Crater. Just looking at what I have. Yeah. Oh, I should have read this. The ship made for the edge, and it soon became clear that its destination was that secret and mysterious side which is always turned away from the Earth, and which no fully human person, save perhaps the dreamer Sneereth Ko, has ever beheld. Well, make that 2 fully human people, Sneereth Ko and Luke Robinson. The Dark Crater, on the dark side of the moon, naturally, is a 2-shroud, 1-clue location. Action test, book 5 to hide. If you succeed, reduce your alarm level by 1. Forced, at the end of your turn, if you're at the Dark Crater and have discovered one or more of its clues, I haven't, test will 3. If you fail, raise your alarm level. Okay, so if you kind of hunt around it, things will come for you. But I haven't, so nothing happens. Luke is pleased to have made it to a new destination, somewhere where he can continue to look for what he needs to do. I think I should probably get this clue. Try to power up my Hawkeye at the very least. In the enemy phase, the cats from Saturn hunt. But when they hunt, after the host cats from Saturn moves, discard one of its swarm cards. Literally do not mind if I do. And then upkeep draws me a promise of power and a resource, which is great news. So we're just one step ahead of this. Cats from Saturn. My plan is put down a Hawkeye, put down a camera, take a photo of the moon, get a clue, move to the city of the Moon Beast. That's my plan. Mythos, however, probably has other plans for me. 4 out of 5 Doom, and we draw an encounter card. Oh, mother. This is Cats from Saturn. Of course. Of course he can't leave them behind. This is... Oh, no, and now I have 2 alarm levels, so in fact, it's... Oh, God, it's swarming 2. This is... Cats from Saturn rush out of the crater, skittering and making horrible little clicking noises as Luke looks at them and tries to figure out what the hell he's supposed to do. We're going to evade this thing. That's a for sure. What do I want to do here? How do I want to do this? I want to evade, because that'll knock out one of its swarm cards. That's way too many cats. I am with you, Crosshair. That's like, because there's a cat here that'll never go away until I kill it. Hi, Max. I'd love this clue. I'd love to play the Hawkeye and get this clue, but like, then I take an attack from the cats, and the rest of the cats are there. I think I'm gonna move instead. Oh, I don't want to. Oh, Kung Fu Fenris! Ah, of course. Welcome, Kung Fu Fenris. That's correct. We are currently surrounded by a swarm of cats from Saturn, and there's another one stalking us as we speak, which is like very distressing. Okay, let's talk. We have a few options. I can try to evade the cats. If I do, I'm safe for the turn. One of the swarms gets discarded. It's fine. I can play Sword Cane, which allows me to fight or evade. What's going on, Kung Fu Fenris? Everything okay? Yes, you do, Crosshair, which is nice. It's separate instances of the enemy, except in certain circumstances, and one of them is evasion. So if you evade the host, you evade all of them, which is really good. Because otherwise it's a 6 health enemy. Oh, okay. Kung Fu Fenris, you're allowed to vent if you would like. Please do, in fact. Let's I don't want to play the Sword Cane. Ah, I see, Kung Fu Fenris. That is unfortunate. Yeah, take the knife, take the Jaeger. You know what to do. Activate protocol, burn it all down. I am somewhat kidding. Only somewhat. Let's fight this mofo. Well, not fight. We're going to evade. Yeah, F it. We're going to play the Sword Cane. Thinking back to that first moment into the... Ugh. What the hell, reading? How? Why? Why is obviously the better question. Preposterous! What do I say? Boop! Your monocle pops out and falls into your tea. Thinking back to that first moment in the Cavern of Flames, Luke realizes this is still the Dreamlands. Even if it's the moon, it's still part of the dreaming side of the world. The same logic doesn't exist here as exists in the waking world. He visualizes for himself a weapon that the cats will not be able to ignore, a laser pointer. He envisaged for himself a magnificent walking cane with the head of a ram, and inside a sword of pure onyx. Just bear with my description here. And then suddenly it is in his hand, and by drawing it, it shoots out a beam of light that startles the cats. Sword cane is a 2-cost asset, takes up a hand slot. It doesn't provoke attacks of opportunity to play it, because it's a sword cane. When it enters play, immediately trigger its action ability without paying its cost, so I can just have this action for free. Fight or evade, you may use your willpower in place of your combat or agility. So let's fucking party. I am going to evade this guy 6 to 4. Hit that crystal pendulum. Let's say succeed or fail by 2? Just because I don't... The math on this is all weird now. Well, that's the thing, reading. We all want a sword, but we also all want a sword that can be disguised in public. Am I right? 6 to 2. Let's party. This sword cane is going to distract the cats. Curse. I'm going to make that a +1. 7 to 2. Curse, that's a -2 again, so we're down to 5 to 2. Skull. -1. Pass by 2. I remove a curse from the bag, and I draw a card. Damn it, it's internal injury. That's fine. I'm going to have a quick look here. Yeah, Kung Fu Fenris, this is the thing. I don't feel like I have enough information to really make a super informed kind of like comment at this time, but it does definitely strike me like, much like microtransactions in many games at the time, you know, a way of sort of creating something that then can be sold because it's hip and cool and people are willing to pay money, you know? Exactly. It's all speculation, right? It's sort of akin to the stock market speculation, which requires a certain amount of positivity. If you get negative, well, exactly, there you go. Folks, yeah, I don't feel particularly like able to sort of discuss it at length, but I will say I totally get it. The light bursts forth from the sword cane, pointing far, far from Luke and Witten, and the cats from Saturn dash off after it, much as a cat might dash from a laser pointer. When I evade the host, I get one of my cards back. Sorry, one of the swarm cards is discarded. Now, unfortunately, of course, channeling this much energy has reignited Luke's old internal injury. That pain between his ribs reignites. I won't have time to deal with it right now, unfortunately. Because I'm going to just move. I'm going to get away from the other cats, and we're going to see how I can figure out the rest of this. Let's go. We're going to move to the City of the Moon Beasts. There presently rose ahead of the jagged hills of a leprous-looking coast, and Carter saw the thick, unpleasant gray towers of a city. The way they leaned and bent, the manner in which they were clustered, and the fact that they had no windows was very disturbing to the prisoner. Ugh. Okay, we revealed the location, so I'm going to hit Witten Green and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're looking for a tome or a relic, which I don't think I have any, but I'm specifically looking for... No, that's too bad. I was looking for that last copy of Astounding Revelation. Exactly, Kung Fu Fenris. This is the thing. And then, of course, like the only people who really get hurt, right, are the people who are not sheltered from the market. It's problematic for sure. Hi, Ripley. Do you want to come and see the cats from Saturn? Got a cat here. One of the cats decidedly... Oh, God, why would I do that? Why would I do that? Yeah, go around, Ripley. I tried to grab the cat, but, like, under my microphone. Let's have a look at the City of the Moon Beasts. City of Moon Beasts is an X Shroud 1-clue location. X is the highest alarm level among investigators. That's fine, it's 2 Shroud. Forced. At the end of the round, each investigator at City of the Moon Beasts tests Agility 2. Each investigator who fails raises their alarm level by 1. I don't like this alarm level garbage. I don't like it. I don't like it. I really don't like it. While I'm here, I think I'll put out my... Yeah, I'm going to put out the Hawkeye folding camera because I have a feeling I'm going to need the additional Web 3.0 needs to be yeeted to Saturn. Sup, Rock Pants is here. What is going on? I want some moon shrooms too. Yeah, these are apparently the towers of a city, but they look like giant toadstools to me. It's all good, Kung Fu Fenris. Cheers. I'm drinking Kraken with whatever soda we had in the house, which we usually don't have any, so it's essentially a rum and Coke. So this is going to be a very exciting episode of Doomed. All right. Here at the City of the Moon Beasts, Luke is on the hunt for Virgil and Randolph Carter. He has not found them yet, but he hopes to soon. F it. I'm going to advance the... Exactly, Crosshair. I'm going to advance the act. It's 3 clues, right? 3 clues at City of the Moon Beasts. F it. I'm doing it. I'm advancing the act. Because I don't know what it does, and I need to make some progress here. Act 1B. Timely rescue. After hours of weaving around leprous stone towers and searching high and low. Exactly, Crosshair. You finally spot a group of shackled captives being led single file from the docks to who knows where. Luckily, they're guarded by only 2 of the foul corsairs. You create a distraction loud enough to separate the pair, then sneak by in order to free the captives. Choose an investigator at the City of the Moon Beasts, me, to take control of the set-aside Virgil Gray Truly Inspired asset. Don't mind if I diggity-do. Here he is. Let's have a look at this guy. Virgil Gray, Truly Inspired, is a dreamer ally. Ooh. Now, Kung Fu Fenris, I've never had an old-fashioned with anything other than orange, so I'd be very curious to know about it. Oh, sorry, Crosshair. Reaction. After your alarm level is raised, draw a card, gain a resource, or heal a horror from Virgil Gray. If there's more than one investigator in the game, give him to someone else. If he's defeated, remove him from the game. Fine. We got it! We got Virgil Gray back, guys! We found him! Check the campaign log. If Randolph was captured, he was, that card's owner puts the set-aside Randolph Carter into their hand. Oh yeah, let's party. Randolph Carter is an expert dreamer. He gives me combat and agility, which, like, frankly, I don't want. So I honestly might just toss him for the icons, which is going to come up very soon, I'm sure. It's also the end of my turn. Oh no, I'll finish the act first. Getting the band back together. We found them, guys. Act 2A, Exploring the Moon. Now that you're reunited, it's time to get off this rock. Yep, Randolph informs you that the light side of the moon should be safe from the reach of the moon beasts, who dwell only on this side, the dark side of the moon. However, it is much too far for you to walk on foot. You'll have to find another way to escape. Objective: only investigators at the Temple of the Moon Lizard may spend 1 clue to advance. That's fine. I have a clue. It's right there. I'll probably get this one first. I have to go to the Moon Lizard Temple to advance, which I'm out of actions, unfortunately. But I will probably do it next turn, Crosshair. I'm feeling up for it. Okay. It's the end of my turn. I have to take a damage because, of course, my internal injury has gone off. Ugh! Luke Robinson is starting to get very concerned about the number of cats that he's seen on the dark side of the moon, but he's thrilled that he's got Virgil and Randolph back, along with Witten Green. He's got everybody he needs. Enemy phase. The cats from Saturn are going to hunt up here. Yeah, and these cats are going to ready. Which I don't like how many cats there are. It's like really bad news. Yeah, I really don't like that. And then upkeep. We draw a card and gain a resource. It's another Spectral Razor. That's good news. And now it's the end of the round. City of the Moonbeasts says, each investigator at the City of the Moonbeasts tests Agility 2. If you fail, raise the alarm level by 1. I'm going to toss on that. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to throw in Randolph Carter for this test. I have... Sorry, reading. You are correct. Randolph didn't consent to being yeeted. But rather than bringing him out to be able to fight, I'm just like, Randolph, go! Deal with those Corsairs that are coming. I have 3 agility. Plus 2 is 5 agility. So 5 to 2. I'm going to try to avoid being seen here in the City of the Moonbeasts. 5 to 2. I'm going to hit Crystal Pendulum. And I'm going to hit Crystal Pendulum, and I'm going to say succeed or fail by 1. A classic. Succeed or fail by 1. Okay, well, that's a +1, so I succeeded by a lot more than 1, so too bad, Crystal Pendulum. Oh, shoot, and now that doesn't ready. Ah, that's too bad. That's okay. Mythos Phase. We're here at the City of the Moonbeasts. Who's that? Who's that under my desk? It's Ripley. Ah, we go to 5 out of 5 Doom. Well, that's not good. And we move to Agenda 1B. Throw away the key. Not good. A single screech pierces the silence, and you instinctively duck for cover here in the city. You have seen these creatures before. Horrid, eyeless monstrosities, that fly alongside the Corsairs' black galleys. Terrible things of bone and leathery, membranous skin. I think I was fighting one of these last time. A flock circles and screeches overhead. Have you been spotted? It doesn't matter. You can't stay here any longer. Shuffle the encounter discard pile to the encounter deck. Raise each investigator's alarm level by 1. Well, that all of a sudden is a big problem. If I get to the Moon Temple, I'll be able to test that will 5, which actually feels really good. I can probably do that. Agenda 2A. The alarm is raised. Your pace quickens as the creature's pursuit grows more frenzied with each passing minute. The silence you once cursed is broken. The awful piercing screeches that punctuate the night are even worse. Ugh. And we draw an encounter card. Oh, Kung Fu Fenris, are you okay? Sorry, buddy. The Corsair of Leng. That's really bad. Spawns at the nearest city or surface location. I guarantee you that's here. Yeah, this is a city and a surface location. It's alert. 2/4/5. After Corsair of Leng attacks via its alert keyword, it gets -3 evade. Okay. And I don't like that they all do damage. That feels very bad. Yeesh. Gabish. So, the screeching sounds. Yeah, Crosshair, I think you're right. Let's do it. It's been an hour. Let's take a small break. I'm really not used to taking, I'm used to taking a lot of breaks on these streams. And then I come around to my solo streams and I'm just like, what do I do? We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back, just a couple minutes. Probably have a little top up on my drink too. And feels like we're not quite there yet, so we're going to have to see how it goes. Back in a sec. See you for more Doomed. And we are back. Hello and welcome back to Doomed. Oh my goodness, what the heck did I do? There we go. Welcome back. I need to make sure I restart the playlist. It always restarts with like kind of an action thing, which is fun. Hello one, hello all. Welcome back to Doomed. Luke Robinson is on the dark side of the moon. He escaped capture. He's evaded capture, rather. But he is being hunted by many, many, many creatures, and I'm not particularly excited about that. Graspy Loot, hello and welcome. Graspy Loot, we're taking an informal poll here. No, hang on. Before I do that, I want to also point at Kung Fu Fenris. I hope you're okay, Kung Fu Fenris. I really do. Take a moment, take a breath. It's all good. You know, like, we just have to not interact with the things we don't want to interact with. That's kind of how I feel personally. We just got to do what makes us, if not happy, then at least satisfied. Graspy Loot, hi, welcome to Doomed. I was gonna say Graspy Loot, we're taking a quick little informal poll. I don't think I'm near the end of Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines on Tuesdays, but when I decide to end, or when I finish the game, we've got a decision ahead of us. There's Disco Elysium with Striker. There's your suggestion, which is the new vampire game from the creators of The Council with Dr. Surgeon. Or there's a totally new character for a one-off called Tornado Macaw. Well, no, sorry. Okay, Kung Fu Fenris. That's okay. Kung Fu Fenris, you make an excellent point. Pick it up, throw it away. Don't think about it anymore. That's what I mean. How can I not interact with broken glass? I was referring more to the NFTs. Kung Fu Fenris. But you do you. All right, we're back here. I desperately need to deal with the... Okay, great, Graspy Loot. I'll take it. Okay, here we are at the City of the Moon Beasts. I have a Corsair of Lang, which is a big beefer, big chunker here, which I don't like. The cats from Saturn are nearby. My goal is to spend a clue at the Temple of the Moon Lizard. I'd love to get this clue, but I don't... What could I do? Yeah, question too hard. That's totally legit. Totally legit, Graspy Loot. Let's see. Let's see. Crosshair, I think you're right. I don't want to get too greedy. Oh, I see. I'd love more experience, of course. I've got 2 victory. Meh. Let's see. I'm not going to be able to evade the Corsair. That's for sure. And I can't do that much damage to it. Because I have some Spectral Razors, but like I don't have the money for them. Oh, I should have gained resources from Virgil. That's okay, I forgot. So let's... I could use my Sword Cane to try to evade or fight or whatever. It's true reading rather. I could use the gate box. The thing about the gate box, which is so cool, is that it's connected to all revealed locations. And Luke says you may play one event each turn as if you were at a connecting location and engaged with each enemy at that location. So you could play a clue event to get a clue. But I kind of burned my clue events. I have the Stirring Up Trouble is dead, Read the Signs is dead. It's all crap, man. What I really want to do is blow up these cats from Saturn. If I gatebox, I can just remove Internal Injury and then figure out another action. So let's do that. I need to remove Eternal Injury, that's for sure. Gatebox fires. Luke is going to dash away from the Corsair of Lang. He can feel the power kind of leaving his gatebox. He only has a certain number of times that he can actually go to the Dream Gate, but for now it works. What does gatebox say exactly? Search your bonded cards for Dream Gate and put it into play. Witten Green says, after a new location is put into play, I'm going to count that as a new location. I'm going to search the top 9 cards in my deck. I'm doing it. Y'alls can't stop me. Astounding Revelation. And are there any tomes or relics? No. Too bad. Luke Robinson manages to free himself from the City of the Moon Beasts here. And sort of takes a bird's eye view of the world as it stands. I'd love more experience, but I have to win this scenario. I can't just fuck it up. Yeah, that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to use that will test on the temple. So here at the in the Dream Gate, Luke is going to kind of observe the world around him here. What can we do? Takes a deep breath, breathes very deeply, and calms that old injury inside of himself. The thing that is plaguing him for so long. Takes a deep breath, and it's gone, which is great. Last action before I get bamfed out of this place, of Dreamgate, I'm going to play Hemispheric Map. Now, I haven't had a chance to play Hemispheric Map before. Hemispheric Map is a relic that takes up an accessory slot, but we are relic hunters, so I can have both. This is kind of cool art, too. Hemispheric Map says, when your current location is connected to at least 2 other locations, you get +1 will and +1 intellect. While it's connected to at least 4 other locations, you get +1 will and +1 intellect. Now, obviously, that's not a issue right now, because at the end of my turn, I get bounced out to any revealed location. I'm going to choose the Temple of the Moon Lizard. +1 will, +1 intellect from the Hemispheric Map. Not bad. Stat boosts are pretty good. The map on one side is, of course, of the hemispheres of Earth, but on the other, Luke discovers some faint writing which he can decipher as a map of the moon. Now, he picked this up in one of his travels in the search of Kadath, and he is thrilled to have it. In the enemy phase, Hunters Hunt. The cats from Saturn are all gonna hunt over to the City of the Moon Beasts, which gets rid of this Swarm card. And then in upkeep, we draw a card, we gain a resource. It's Deep Knowledge. Oh, yeah, Crosshair, sorry, I totally forgot. I'm going to do Mythos first, and then I will absolutely advance before anything else. 1 out of 5 Doom, and we draw an encounter card. Close Watch. Ooh, the galley has returned with its giant bright lights. Your heart pounds in your chest. You hold your breath, keep perfectly still, and pray they cannot see you. Oh, man. Test Agility 4. If you fail, discard the asset you control with the highest printed cost, or raise your alarm level by 1. Ugh. Clearly, the asset with the highest printed cost is Witten Green. I don't want to fail that. I really don't want to. Sigh. You alright, Kung Fu Fenris? Is it the close watch that's being kept on Luke that's really problematic? Oh, Kung Fu Fenris, I'm sorry, buddy. What do you... The uncharitable part of me is like, what are you doing to those glasses? But the kinder part of me is like, I'm sorry. That's really too bad. Let's we're gonna test this agility. I have 3 agility to 4. I'm gonna... Oh, I see. Oh, jeez, that's too bad. I'm gonna put another Promise of Power into it, which takes me up to 7 to 4. Crystal Pendulum. I'm gonna hit Crystal Pendulum and say that I'm gonna succeed or fail by 1. And we're gonna test 7 to 4. Okay, that's just a -1, so I succeeded by 2, so I don't get the thing. But nothing happens. You'll love to see it. Oh, jeez, Kung Fu Fenris. Oh, man. That's really too bad. I'm sorry. I was thinking about Old Fashions the other day, actually. I feel like there's some synchronicity happening here. I'm going to get some bitters, because I don't have any in the house. And we're going to make some soon. Okay, Crosshair. You'll be pleased to know my first action will be advancing the act. We're here at the Temple of the Moon Lizard. We're going to advance the act. Act 2, thank God, Act 2B, through the center. While the majority of this temple is dedicated to an idol the moon-dwelling creatures refer to as the Moon Lizard, what are Cajun bitters? Bitters from Louisiana? Tell me more. You also find several references to some kind of lake of primordial black ooze not far beneath the surface that binds together the core of the moon. What? These texts imply that the whole of the moon's surface is connected by this core across multiple dimensions. Perhaps we can use it to cross over to the moon's other side, Randolph suggests. Or to the afterlife, Virgil adds. Yes, one or the other, Randolph replies nonchalantly. It is still our only option. Put the set aside, caverns beneath the moon, dark side, and the black core locations into play. Caverns beneath the moon and the black core. Let's figure out where these live. Caverns beneath the moon is connected to yellow and moon. So it's okay. This is why there were little arrows here. I understand. And it's also connected to star, which is the black core. Spawn the set-aside moon lizard at the black core. Exhausted. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. Fine. The moon lizard! Let's have a look at the moon lizard. Oh my god, it's huge. Wait, at the black core? Yeah. The moon lizard is an X4X elite monster. It's a giant basilisk that lives under the moon. I don't know what else I can tell you. It's a hunter. It can only enter cave locations. Okay. While moon lizard is engaged with an investigator, X is that investigator's alarm level. Otherwise, X is 5. So generally, okay, so its fight and evade are like, would be 3 each right now. It's not great. It's not crazy. It also has victory 2, which is pretty good. Act 3A, the moon's core. You suspend your disbelief. Oh, hang on, I have to read this. I just found out that the specialist hot chocolate maker that was being sold in Hotel Chocolat for £99 is going for £60 cheaper in another store. It's pretty good reading. What is a hot chocolate maker? Is my question. Yeah, Crosshair, I agree. Can only enter caves. The black core is a cave. The caverns are caves. And that's it. Oh, hi, Ella. What's up? I don't trust that cat. You suspend your disbelief and descend beneath the moon's crust. In order to reach the other side of the moon, you must make your way through its black core, a transdimensional fluid from which nightmares are born. Oh. Okay. That's pretty cool reading, honestly. For that kind of technology, maybe it is worth like 30 or 40 pounds. I don't know. Clues cannot be discovered from the black core, except as a result of successful investigation. Okay, that's annoying. Objective, if each surviving investigator is at the black core and it has no clues on it, advance. So we have to get to the black core, and we have to get the clues off of it. The black core says, the path to the moon's core is long and winding. You cannot enter the black core while Caverns Beneath the Moon Dark Side has clues on it. So I also have to clear the clues from Caverns of the... Okay, that's fine. Fine. Okay. Let's see. What do I want to do here? Where are you going, Ella? Just watching my cat briefly. Let's just go check on my cat. Nope. You good, Ella? Here, let's check. Nope. When is your birthday? Reading? Oh, she's good, Rocky. She's good. Okay, let's see. What I really want is the clues off these other locations, but I don't have a way of, like, cheating them off yet. I also definitely need more money. Let's contemplate my actions here. Contemplate your actions. Temple of the Moon Lizard says action test will 5 to hide. Excellent, Kung Fu Fenris. And reading, great day. I'm not going to send you a hot chocolate maker. I just want you to know that, because I don't know where you live specifically. Test will 5 to hide inside the Forbidden Temple. If you succeed, reduce your alarm level by 1. I think I'm going to try that. Sorry, team. Ella has a way of coming right up to me to ask me things. What a good cat. Such a good cat. Okay. Exactly, Crosshair. That sounds good. Excuse me. Yeah, let's reduce our alarm level by 1. That feels good. How do I do that? I have... Oh, let's just recount. 4 will. 5 will with Witten. 6 will with the Pendulum. 7 with the Hemispheric Map. 7 to 5. Totally legit. Yeah. Halfway through the scenario, no experience, but yeah, just come on in. 7 to 5. I'm going to regret this. I'm going to throw in a Spectral Razor to be 8 to 5. Let's try to hide. +1. Oof. Kung Fu Fenris, big oof. Luke successfully hides briefly in the Temple of the Moon Lizard as the cats and the Corsairs rush by, screaming and screeching and hunting for him. Kung Fu Fenris, is it possible? I mean, cleaning it is a hassle, I'm sure, just rather than being like, you know, a huge problem. Let's see. These guys are hunters, so yeah, I need to just move, right? Incredible. I'm gonna move twice. What a day. What a day. Move to the Moon Forest. Move into the caverns beneath the moon. While in a black cave on a far unhallowed summit of the Moon Mountains still vainly waited the crawling chaos, Nyarlathotep. Crosshair, I am waiting, and I can Oh, okay. Oh, yes. Yes, you're correct. I did forget about that, though. It's not good, though, right? Because I'm pretty close to these other cats from Saturn, which, like, also doesn't feel very good. What the fuck is this? Caverns Beneath the Moon Dark Side is a 6-shroud, 1-clue location. Forced. After you fail a skill test while investigating, until the end of your turn, reduce its shroud by 2. Does that stack? After you fail a skill test, until the end of your turn, reduce its shroud by 2. Yeah, because you can fail multiple times. Okay, so investigate, fail, investigate, fail, investigate, fail. Yeah, okay, cool. But then it resets. I revealed a new location with Witten Green, who, once they're safe in the caves beneath the moon, Witten kind of looks at Luke and asks him, you know, is this real? Oh, did you? No. Nyarlathotep. I said Nyarlathotep. Perfect. We're just searching for a relic or tome. I don't think I have any more relics or tomes in the deck, but I'm still looking just in case. Nyarlathotep, more like. Well, this is going to be quite the occasion. Okay. Luke Robinson turns back to speak with Witten and with Virgil, and sort of looks her in the eyes and just sort of says, yes, it is truly a dream that we are here. We must do what we must in order to find the hidden peak beneath which is Kadath, the city where the gods dwell. Witten's just like, why? Why do we have to keep doing this? Virgil Gray nods and sagely and kind of pats Luke on the shoulder, and he's like, that is what we dreamers do. We dream of a better tomorrow. Enemy phase. The cats from Saturn are hunters, so they hunt back towards us. Da-na-na! And in the upkeep phase, this moon lizard is going to ready. Ooh. Oh, vantage point. Vantage point is really good. Really good here, actually. Talk about why momentarily. 2 out of 5 Doom. And we draw an encounter card. Oh! Dark forces stir against you. If you do not act quickly, a sinister plot will be fulfilled. Place 1 Doom on the current agenda. This effect can cause it to advance. So annoying. Ancient Evils. I love the card. Hate the design. No, it's fine. There's various replacements for this Ancient Evils card. One of them, well, we've seen them crosshair. In Dark Matter, there's the one that was like, put it in play. When Doom would be placed, place an additional Doom and discard it. That's essentially the same as this, but it offers you a bit of a choice. There's another version from Dunwich, which is great. Resurgent Evils. It says, place a Doom. This can cause the agenda to advance. Or draw the top 2 cards of the encounter deck. Absolutely disgusting, but at least you have a choice. I don't have a choice here. I just lost a whole other turn. Thanks so much. And we move back around to the investigation phase. Okay. So I'm thinking... Oh, this is even better. I have a very... Well, it's not a good idea, but it's an idea. It's the start of a plan. It's a... blah. Vantage Point is an event that Luke Robinson has, which of course he can take from his gate box, right? He has a vantage over the whole moon. Play after a location enters play or is revealed. Oh yeah, no. So the Dream Gate is an example of that. Until the end of the active investigator's turn, it gets -1 shroud. You may move a clue to that location from any other location. So I can cheat the clue off of Caverns Beneath the Moon or one of the 2 VP locations. Ka-chow, which feels pretty good, honestly. But we need to start by trying to get the clue here. It's a 6 shroud location, huh? Can we just get it, do you think? I could fail once. I'm 5 to 6. That doesn't feel very good. I don't know what else is in my deck. Ooh, I do know what else is in my deck, actually. Let's use our deep knowledge of the Caverns Beneath the Moon. I'm going to add 2 more curses to the bag and draw 3. I knew that was going to happen. I'm going to play... This is a weakness detached from reality. Search your bonded cards for Dreamgate and put it into play. I will. And I'm going to move to it. Now, do I want to play Vantage Point here? Yeah, I totally do, actually. I absolutely want to. I'm going to play Vantage Point from here. A new location entered play, so I'm going to use Vantage Point. This is, sorry, I should be clear. Detached from reality is a weakness of Luke's. He's, even down here beneath the cavern, grounded by all of this rock and stalactites, the promise of this liquid miasmus core, he's still drawn upwards into the sky, upwards into his own dreams. And suddenly, without even thinking about it, he finds himself at the dream gate, the pointless reality. I'm going to play Vantage Point, which gives it -1 shroud, and I'm going to move a clue there from another location. I'm going to take it off one of these VP locations. That feels really dumb. Maybe I should take it off. Maybe I shouldn't be a cheater. I should take it off Caverns. No, it's okay. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Then we are going to investigate our location. It now has 5 shroud. I'm going to burn the midnight oil. Luke is here trying desperately to figure out how to leave his dream gate and return to where he needs to go. He would gladly live out the remainder of his days here in the dream gate, but he gets a flash suddenly of his love, Tony, running down endless stairs, something huge and dark and terrifying chasing him. And he realizes he must go on. I am 5 to 5 on this test. Let's just start committing cards. 6 to 5. Fuck it, 7. 7 to 5. Oof, I'm gonna regret that. 7 to 5, and I'll say succeed or fail by 1. Curse +1. 8 to 5. Curse -2. 6 to 5. Ooh, +1. Success. I remove a curse. I don't succeed or fail by 1, but I still get the clue off of this location. Ugh. Covenant, you beautiful bastard. I get a resource on Hawkeye, which gives me another willpower, which is amazing. And after I successfully investigate this dream gate, I flip it to its other side. Even better, so I'm not going to take horror from it, at least. Now the question is, what do I want to do with my last action? It will freely yeet me back out somewhere. Do I want to just play Armageddon? I'm trying to think of my... Yeah, this is the question, Crosshair. So I could yeet myself back out far away, but then, obviously, it would allow the cats to hunt away for a moment, but the moon lizard would still come towards me, right? Doesn't feel good. The thing is, though, Crosshair, there is... I'm considering my options here as Luke Robinson ponders within his dream gate. How are they going to get through to the dark side, to the light side of the moon? Here we go. There's a player window between hunter enemies moving and hunter enemies attacking. So you can use the gate box after they move, but before they hit you, which is just ridiculous. I have a specific card that I'm looking for. So I feel like if I draw, I might be more likely to find it. So last action, we're going to draw a card. That's not what I was looking for, but that's okay. At the end of the investigation phase, Luke Robinson, very sadly, is shunted back out of his dream gate and reappears in the caverns beneath the moon. And then the world erupts around him. In the enemy phase, 2 cats from Saturn leap in after him, as does the moon lizard. This is obviously hugely problematic, but we're going to use the gate box to escape. And we're going to go right on back to the dream gate. Incredible. So down here in the caverns beneath the moon, there are a lot of enemies. It does not feel very good. Upkeep draws us a card and gains us a resource. This is what I was looking for. You love to see it. And we go into the Mythos phase. 4 out of 5 Doom on this new agenda. I don't feel like I'm that close, but we'll see where we're at here. And we draw an encounter card. Deepest Slumber. Deeper Slumber. My apologies. Naturally, back in the waking world, Luke Robinson has been asleep for at least 2 days. And as Tony Morgan kind of realized, it's not really a natural sleep. Being here, venturing back and forth between the dream gate, this wondrous journey, and the dark side of the moon, has put Luke into an even deeper slumber. Your maximum hand size is reduced by 3, and is checked after each time you draw 1 or more cards. Deeper Slumbest. You are getting sleepier. Yeah, much sleepier. Yes, I wish there was a card called Deepest Slumber. Oh. Hi, Roger Twy. I didn't see you come in. How you doing? Welcome to Doomed. Okay, we're back to the investigation phase. We're here. We're excited. I want to blow up all of these enemies down here in the cavern. That's what I want to do, and I have just the way to do it. Luke Robinson, in the Dream Gate, is going to start channeling all of his Deep Slumber, Deeper Slumber, Deepest Slumber, and surprise, Deeperer Slumber. Deeperer Slumber 2, the Dream Gate Boogaloo. Okay, he's going to, he can see the cat skittering around beneath the moon. You can see a large moon lizard, which seems to have a scorpion's tail. I don't know what's happening in this art. Roaring through the cavern tunnels. But Luke is able to start charging his power. I'm going to play Storm of Spirits. It's an event. I can play it as if I were at a connecting location, so I will play it as if I were at Caverns Beneath the Moon. I'll target cats from Saturn. Let's just make sure I have the right... this Storm of Spirits is a blast of eldritch energy that Luke is going to transmit sort of through... Oh, Paximo, hi! Welcome to Doomed. Hope you're doing well. Luke is going to channel his eldritch energy like through the dream gate and try to blast all of these creatures off the face of the planet, in this case, the Beneath the Moon. Fight using willpower. If you succeed, it deals 2 damage to each enemy at your location, which is that location. If a bad stuff token is revealed, I have to take a damage. Not the best, not the worst. Let's party. Let's count my willpower. 4, 5 from Witten, 6 from the Pendulum, 7 from the Hawkeye, and actually 9 from the hemispheric map, because it's currently connected to at least 4 other locations. Yeah, any additional damage. Little Nemo Adventures in Slumberland. Paximo, I have never... I realize this is exactly what you just wrote, but, like, what is that? What is it? Tell me more. Because, of course, Nemo makes me think of Finding Nemo, but Nemo is also the name of the captain in 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, question mark, I think? Someone remind me? Anyway, let's fight. We're fighting at 9-2. I'm going to hit Crystal Pendulum on this and say succeed or fail by 2. Oh, I see what you mean, Crosshair. Yeah. Any additional damage? Yes, exactly. Well, also if you had some sort of card that said, like, you know, +1 damage for this attack or something, that would be additional as well, which is pretty sweet. Unfortunately, they all have 2. Well, the Moon Lizard has 4 health, but I'm still going to choose one of these cats from Saturn to blow up. 9-2. Succeed or fail by 2. Let's party. Whew. -3. 6-2. I did not succeed or fail by 2, but I did succeed. So, Luke Robinson fires a blast of absolutely massive eldritch energy through the Dream Gate. It is fire combined with electricity, and he watches as the cats from Saturn simply vaporize. I do 2 damage to each of them. Plus, oh, thank you, Paximo. Yes, please. Plus 2 damage on the Moon Lizard, baby. You'll love to see it. That is actually quite good. I'm pleased. I'm quite pleased with that. And then we're going to leave the Dream Gate and go into the caverns, where the hemispheric map no longer gives me +1/+1. The Moon Lizard has been singed, and it is angry. But Luke Robinson faces him with strength and with some measure of, maybe perhaps a little bit of fear, as he readies his sword cane. I have an action left. I'm going to use it to evade, I think, rather than... I could fight, and then I'm going to take 2 and 2. Oh, no, what am I doing? I'm going to use Spectral Razor. Let's just get rid of it. He faces it down, sword cane in hand, but suddenly from his other arm erupts that same blue flame that he brought with him from the cavern, crackling now with some sort of additional eldritch energy. I'm fighting. I'm adding willpower to skill value. It deals +1 damage, which would be 2 damage. I'm fighting 2-2, but I'm adding my will, so I'm 10-2. That looks good to me. Boom. The Moon Lizard is slain. Luke rockets up into the air and comes down on the Moon Lizard with a blast of power that shakes the very core of the moon. And with its dying, gasping breath, The moon lizard simply slumps over onto its back. That felt pretty good, I gotta tell you. We move to the enemy phase, but there's no enemies left. And then we move to upkeep, where I draw a card and gain a resource. Why am I so, like, happy-go-lucky here? It's, like, just, like, so ridiculous. I'm definitely going to lose. We move to the Mythos phase, where we go to 5 out of 5 Doom. Agenda 2B. Run, rabbit, run. Your escape route is cut off as a pack of lithe creatures surrounds you. Son of a... At first glance, you believe them to be cats, but they're only vaguely cat-like in shape. What you mistook for fur is more akin to a series of patterns, like strange filigrees. You silently pray for aid, shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck, raise each investigator's alarm level by 1. Woo, 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 woo. They're coming for me! Check the campaign log. If the investigators forced their way into the temple. I know I did, I'm just going to find it. Yep, Luke forced his way into the temple. Of course he did. He pissed off the cats. And that's what you do in the Dreamlands, you piss off the cats. You silently pray for aid, but nobody came. The lead investigator searches the encounter deck and discard pile for 1 copy of Cats from Saturn and draws it. Ugh. Infuriating. I just blew a bunch of these guys up. Cats from Saturn is a 2/2/2 hunter with Swarming X. X is your alarm level. Well, now that's 3, so that's, like, really bad news. But if I evade it, I get the swarm cards start kind of vanishing, so that's okay. Agenda 3A. They are upon you. The entirety of the moon's denizens are set against you now. Behind every corner, a group of corsairs lies in wait, or a pack of hunting cats lurks to herd you towards its vicious masters. The skies above swarm with winged beasts and black galleys. If you cannot find a way back to Earth, you will surely be captured. Hint! The game will not end when this agenda advances. Ooh, but the agents of Nyarlathotep will tighten their noose. This is one of those agendas, I assume, where on the other side it says, do a thing, reset it. Do a thing, reset it. Oh boy, okay. We still need to get to the moon's core. Oh, I didn't even draw an encounter card. Let's draw an encounter card. Ooh, Hunted by Corsairs. Attach Hunted by Corsairs to the current act. When it advances, each investigator takes 2 damage. Obviously, of course I'm being hunted by Corsairs. Even here beneath the surface of the moon, the cats have raised the alarm. The moon lizard is dead. These Corsairs are hunting for me with purpose. I can spend an action and test Book 4 to outwit them, or Agility 4 to sneak past them. If when the act advances, I take 2 damage. So honestly, I might just have to deal with that, potentially. Back to the investigation phase. We are here. We are ready to rock. I need the clue off this cavern, like, stat. And I need to evade this guy, like, statter. So we're going to evade. The sword cane comes out! The sword cane was very effective before. In much the way that a laser pointer is effective a playing tool for cats, this sword cane beams light when it is drawn, which Luke is hoping will, once again, distract the cats. I'm evading at 8-2. I'm going to hit Crystal Pendulum and say succeed or fail by 2. Oh, okay. Succeed or fail by a whole bunch more. That's succeed by 2. That's fine. I get a swarm card back as they are all evaded here at my location. It sends them scampering off into the distance as Luke Robinson is left alone, finally, beneath the caverns to investigate. I'm going to investigate here. I guess I'll burn the midnight oil. I'm investigating at 5-6, which doesn't feel great, but plus side, if I fail, then it reduces its shroud. So we're going to hunt desperately for a way through the caverns down to the black core. We don't know how to get there, but we're going to try. 5-6. Can I commit anything? Can't do anything. 5-6. Curse +1. 6-6. Elder Sign! What? Place a charge on Gatebox. Oh my god. Crosshair. That Elder Sign came at the best time. Wild. I got a clue off a location, so the Hawkeye fires. I get another intellect as well, and I get the clue. And last action, holy crap, let's get the hell out of here. The Black Core, the path to the moon's core is long and winding. You cannot enter the Black Core while caverns beneath the moon. Dark side has clues on it. A thick black sludge begins to impede your progress as you draw nearer and nearer to the moon's core. Oh no, Crosshair, you're right. Okay, the Black Core is an X Shroud 1 clue location. This is obviously the core of the moon, some sort of black sludge that holds the moon together. X is the number of depth tokens on it. Forced. After it is revealed, place 3 resources on it as depth tokens, plus an additional 3 per investigator tokens. So that's 6 depth tokens. Okay, so it has 6 shroud at its current moment. Action. Test Will 2 or Combat 2 to swim through the dark lake at the moon's core. For each point you succeed by, remove a depth token. Right, okay. So by removing depth tokens, you can get the shroud lower. So as you get closer and closer to the core, by swimming through it, it gets easier to find the truth. I will remind everybody as well, the moon's core act says clues cannot be discovered from it except as a result of a successful investigation. So I have to do this. That's the end of my turn. We move to the enemy phase, but there's no ready enemies. So in upkeep, I draw a card and gain a resource. This whole pile of crap over here readies, and we move to the Mythos Phase. Oh boy, we move to 1 out of 4 Doom, and we draw an encounter card. Lunar Patrol. What is that beast? It's like a bone vulture. Attached to your location. Test Agility 3 to lose the patrol. If you succeed, discard it. When an investigator leaves the location, raise that investigator's alarm level by 1. Well, frack. That's... Honestly, I'm not gonna bother. I'm just not gonna bother with that. Honestly, I can't. It's fine. I don't like the fact, I don't know what the deal with the alarm level is. How alarming. Good to see you, Roger Twy. Been too long. Welcome to Doomed. Luke Robinson has arrived at the Black Core, looking down into the inky murkness below. He looks at Virgil, he looks at Randolph, he looks at Witten, he takes a deep breath, and he plunges in. I'm going to spend my first action trying to get rid of some of these depth tokens. Test Will 2 to swim through the dark lake. For each point you succeed by, remove a depth token. I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... No. Shoot, the hemispheric map doesn't provide me a bonus. So 7 to 2. I'll commit the crystal to be 8, though. And I'm going to say succeed or fail by 2. That is a succeed or fail by 2. So I draw a card, and I remove 2 depth tokens. Like, I need to get out of here. So now it's a 4 shroud location. Do I bother? Maybe I just try for the clue now? I have 3, 4, 5 intellect? 5 to 4? Not ideal. No, let's try again. I'm going to try to remove some additional things here. Shit. It's not, I think back then, Paximo, I think I wasn't quite as witty on this channel. It does track, that's for sure. But, like, I feel like I'm wittier now. There might be better quotes if you continue to dig. If each surviving investigator is at the Black Core and it has no clues on it, advance. And that's forced, right? Like, it's not... Yeah. Do like a good apple. Oh! It just popped right out. Oh my god, Dr. Surgeon. See, that's a witty quote, question mark? I'm going to take some more depth tokens off of this thing. Let's test again. I'm 7 to 2 this time. Skull is half rounded up is 2, so that's 3 more. Stryker let his diatribes fall away and filled the silence with a steep sigh that spoke volumes of the time spent chasing prey that will never be caught. Come on, San Diego, he murmured to himself. Now, I can't be sure because I don't have this information in front of me, and frankly, I'm not sure if I have it anywhere anyway, but I'm willing to pay money that was written by Paximo. Paximo, confirm or deny? It's just a thought. Anyway, I succeeded by 3, so I'm removing 3 depth tokens, and now all of a sudden, it's a 1-shroud location. So let's get to it. Witten Green, help me find the answer. Oh, really? Damn it. Hare, was that you? I don't know. I feel like... Yeah, I just feel like it's written in a way that's very, like... Eric Wynn? Oh, I love it. Anyway, I just love it is all. We're going to investigate this 1-shroud, 1-clue location. Luke Robinson is getting through the damn black core. Damn it. We're investigating 5 to 1. Okay. Well, there you go. There you go, Crosshair. That's the ticket. That's how it goes, right? Paximo, you're very welcome. Apparently I am a big liar. Okay, so we whiffed that pretty badly. Unfortunately, of course, the abyss never lies. It just forgets some things in the middle. In the enemy phase, the cats from Saturn hunt. Oh no, we lose one of our one of the swarm cards vanishes, because you know how cats are, right? So I'm gonna take 2 damage if I stick around here, which I really don't like. So I'm gonna hit the gate box. Another gate box token gone. Whee! And we venture to the dream gate. I'm gonna have to do something about these cats from Saturn, which is not very nice, but we'll figure that out. Upkeep draws me a card and gains me a resource. Enraptured. You'll love to see it. And we move back to the Mythos phase. 2 out of 4 Doom. Yeah, that's the thing, Crosshair, right? Night Trap. Oh, Night Trap! I miss Night Trap reading. I still have it installed because there's so many achievements I haven't unlocked. I kind of want to... I've never been tempted to, like, figure out how to speed run a game or, like, perfect run a game. But that's exactly the kind of game where, you know, if you know all the times to, like, you can perfect your run, right? You can be like, click here, take out that vampire thing, click over there to, oh, listen to this for the code, you know. Paximo, this game makes me say things that I would not otherwise expect to say. Draw an encounter card. Close Watch. Test Agility 4. If you fail, discard a asset you control with the highest printed cost or raise your alarm level by 1. Well, I have to take the test. Virgil Gray will draw me a card or something if I raise my alarm level? Yeah, let's just test this on the nose. I don't like it, but I can't do anything about it, so I may as well, right? 3 to 4. +1 from the Blasphemous Covenant? Okay, -2. Oh, shoot, sorry. That's fine, I'll draw again. Okay. So I had +1 from the Blasphemous Covenant, -2 from the Curse, +1 again, which is 0, but that's still a fail, 3 to 4. So I'm going to remove a curse from the bag, and we're going to fail Close Watch. You must either discard the asset you control with the highest printed cost, that's Witten Green, or raise your alarm level by 1. Well, they're paying close attention to Luke now. They're actively hunting for him. I am at alarm 4 as we move back to the investigation phase. Deeper Sumber says your maximum hand size is reduced by 3, as opposed to reduced to 3, which I think is... It is, for sure, Crosshair, which is, like, good, though, because... So my max hand size is 5 right now, which is nice. Well, it's not nice, obviously. It's just, like... Yeah, your maximum hand size is reduced by 3 and is checked after every time you draw 1 or more cards. Yeah, as opposed to a more normal number, like 5, you know? That is nasty, though, isn't it? Okay, we're back around. What are we doing? What am I doing? We're gonna destroy the cats from Saturn, right? Yeah. And the best way to do that, I think, is with an Occult Invocation, which I can play as if I was at a location. Yeah, let's do it. Occult Invocation says, discard up to 2 cards from your hand. Oh, 7 even. Okay, there you go. Yeah. This attack uses book. You get +1 book and deal +1 damage for each card discarded. So I'm going to discard 2 cards. Okay. So I have 3 intellect, 4 with Witten, 5, 6 with the hemispheric map, because I'm currently at a big old connected location. Destroy the cats from Saturn or destroy the cats from Saturn while standing on the surface of No, the cats are clearly from Saturn. Look at the art. Damn it, reading. Look at the art. These cats are from an alien planet. I have 6 intellect, +2 is 8 to 2. This will deal 3 damage if I succeed. Let's party. 8 to 2. That feels really good. So, boom. 3 damage. Which always starts on a host card. Or, sorry, not the host card. Oh, shoot, you're absolutely right, Crosshair, sorry. Oh, I have to raise my alarm level again. Oh, you're absolutely correct. Okay, well, hang on. Then in that case, Virgil Gray would have triggered twice, and I'm not going to forget this again. Draw a card, gain a resource, or some combination thereof. I'm going to draw a card, and draw another card. I know it's good stuff. Oh, of course! Yes, excellent. That's great. This is Arcane Studies 4. Those are some hip cats. Yay! Okay, Crosshair, you were correct. Thank you for reminding me. Second action, get the hell back into the Black Core. We don't like to see that. And then last action, we're going to finally use the Sword Cane for something a bit more permanent. We're going to use the Sword Cane to attack these hip cats. They have 2 combat. I'm fighting with willpower. Let's just check my will again. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope, doesn't count. Just 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Hemispheric map isn't on right now. So this is my last action. I'm fighting 7 to 2 against these hip cats. You're correct, Crosshair, yeah. -2. -2. 7 to, what was I, 7 to 2? That's still a pass. I remove a curse from the bag. It's fine. And I kill the cats from Saturn. Get the hell out of here! Drawing the blade once more from its sheath, Luke cuts down. He envisages himself. He imagines himself cutting down the cats, and they are falling before him. I have 4 power. Willpower. Whee! But now I'm just sitting here, sad and alone. No ready enemies. Upkeep draws me a card and gains me a resource, but I'm all out of cards, so I gotta take a horror. I'm putting it on Witten. Oh, Randolph Carter. That's good. Mythos Phase. 3 out of 4 Doom. Let me draw an encounter card. It's forced into hiding. Oh, here you go, Crosshair. Test Will X. X is your alarm level. If you fail by 3 or more, by 5 or more. Obviously, destroying these cats sounds the alarm once more, and Corsairs pour down beneath the surface of the moon. Luke attempts to hide deep within the inky blackness of the core. Can he succeed? Or rather, how much time does he need to hide there? You son of a gun, Crosshair. Why on earth would you say that? Let's do it. If you fail... Okay, Will 5. I have 7. 7 to 5. 7 to 5. That doesn't cost an action. Let's say succeed or fail by 1, shall we? You bastards. Half your alarm level rounded up. -3. So I fail by 1. Okay, fine. That's a card draw. I'll take it. And I lose an action. Unfortunately. As we move back into the investigation phase. Now, here we are. Oh no, now I have a 5-card hand. So, we need to investigate the core. Yeah, and then a bunch of stuff's going to happen, and it's going to be horrible. But it is what it is. Let's just go for it. No, I'm going to play my Arcane Studies. Arcane Studies, level 4, which is a really sweet piece of art as well. This is, I think this is the Warlock. Anyway, it's a talent. Obviously, like I said before, Luke has been studying basically non-stop here in the Dreamlands, and his power is not true magic, but it is Dreamlands magic, and therefore it is real here. It has 2 resources on it. Replenish them at the start of each round. Spend a resource from your resource pool or from Arcane Studies to get +1 will or +1 book for this test. So that's a free intellect boost basically every round, which feels good. Last action. Let's get this damn clue. I have 5 intellect. I'm going to put Enraptured in to have 6. 6 to 1. Sure, and I'll spend the damn things off of Arcane Studies. Who cares? Yeah, not bad, eh? It costs 4 experience, though, which is kind of a lot. But yeah, let's do it. I have now 5 intellect, 6 with Enraptured, 7, 8 to 1. Did I get it? Curse +1? 0. Done. Excellent. Done. You love it. Enraptured places a charge on an asset I control. I'm going to place 1 on Gatebox. We get the clue. Swimming down deeper and deeper through the black ooze. Is it perhaps that we reach the other side? Let's find out. Okay, the act advances, so I have to take 2 damage. I'm not happy. I'm putting 1 on me and I'm putting 1 on Witten. Sorry, Witten. The Corsairs are firing their strange composite bows down into the inky blackness, and they manage to escape relatively unscathed. The current act advances, so that gets discarded. I know, Crosshair. She got bamfed off into the sky by some sort of beast. Act 3B, to the other side. The lake of black ichor below the surface of the moon is miles wide and bubbles with warm, noxious pockets of gas. Most of the lake bed is completely solid, and it seems for a moment that Randolph's plan is a dead end after all. Then you take a final step and your foot is caught by nothing. Before you can react, you are yanked under the surface. You try to shout, Ichor. I thought so, reading. That's how I'm going to assume it's, yeah. Before you can react, you are yanked under the surface. You try to shout a warning to your companions, but your words are swallowed by the black core along with the rest of your body. Your lungs barely have air. You struggle not to scream as you're carried by a fierce undertow. When you finally emerge, you're in another chamber, just like the one you came from. Only you can see a shaft of light piercing through the gray crust above you. Moments later, the rest of your party emerges. Did we make it? Virgil asks. Well, I thought that was the end for sure. This will make for an exciting chapter. Virgil, I swear to God, man, we're in big trouble here. Put the set aside. Caverns beneath the moon, light side of the moon, and white ship locations into play. That's 3 more locations. How big is this god damn map? I'm just going to put them here, and then we'll see kind of where they connect here. Although I like to do that in order. Okay, the black core is connected to Caverns Beneath the Moon. I mean, that light side. Ah, so it's a nice little mirror. Actually, I'm going to mirror them completely. I'm going to do this. Boop. And then the light side is connected to the light side of the moon. Oh, sorry, that would make sense. And the light side of the moon is connected to the heart, which is the white ship. So much happening, so much happening. Why, I thought that was the end, is my exact thought. God damn it, Crosshair, I thought so too! I'm now connected to 2 locations again, so I get +1 will, +1 intellect from the hemispheric map. Thank you very much. I also got a clue off a location, so I'll take a thing on my Hawkeye. Okay, great, thank you very much. Act 4A, Unexpected Rescue. The surface of the light side of the moon is patrolled by ships that sail through the windless sky. Sorry, you can't see that. Still can't see it. There we go. Still can't see it. There we go. One, however, looks different from the rest. Its hull is stark and shining, casting a white glow into the night. The white ship, breathes Randolph. Find a way off the moon. Words I also thought I'd never hear myself say. You will be instructed when to advance. Fun thought. If we had a mission to the dark side of moon in reality, we'd do everything by artificial light. That is actually really cool. Yeah, that is cool. Oh, I like it. Okay, let's just have a look at these locations, shall we? Caverns beneath the moon light side is just here. Then there's light side of the moon. The path to the moon's surface is long and winding. You cannot enter light side of the moon, while caverns beneath the moon has clues on it. So it's the same thing. I have to get the clues off this, whatever that is. Then, Randolph Carter clearly is telling me to go to the white ship. The mysterious ship's captain cannot let you board until the pursuing moon beasts have retreated. You cannot enter the white ship while your alarm level is 5 or higher. Okay, well, so here's the thing. There must be a way to lower my alarm level here, right? Because, like, they wouldn't do that to you right at the end. I mean, they might. They might do that, but that seems... Okay, that was the end of my turn. Deep sigh. Enemy phase. Upkeep phase. Draw a card, gain a resource. It's a promise of power again. Mythos. We go to 4 out of 4 doom. I have my companion. Oh! He gives me stuff if my alarm level is raised, which is, like, good, I guess. Agenda 3B. Time to kill. There is nowhere left to run. Oh, raise each investigator's alarm level by 1. Well, that sucks. Just straight up, eh? Nothing to be done there. Whee! So now I'm at... Oh, that's funny. I thought I was at 6. But I seem to only be at 5? Was I at 5 or 6 before? Doesn't matter. I'm gonna keep it like this, and we'll see where I get to. Each investigator takes horror equal to half their alarm level rounded up. Okay, so it doesn't matter if it's 5 or 6. For this purpose, reset the agenda deck to 3A. Place 2 doom on that agenda. That makes sense, Crosshair. So no. I think you're right. I remember being at 5s and going to 6. So let's just do that. Woof. So I take 3 horror. I'll put 1 on Witten. I'm gonna gain a resource from Virgil. Yeah, and then I'm gonna put a horror on him, and then I'm gonna put a horror on me. So I actually have time, which is good. And let's draw an encounter card. What the f is this? The Moonbound Bayaki. Oh my god. It spawns at the nearest surface location. Okay, where are the surface locations? Dark Crater, Moon Forest. Okay, what about up here? The light side of the moon is a surface location. It's 2 away from me. I'm going to put it behind me, though, right? I'm not going to put it on me, so to speak. The Moonbound Bayaki, I'm going to put it down here at the Dark Crater. Highest alarm. Preys on the highest alarm level. Alert. Hunter. While moving or investigating, moving or engaging, it ignores investigators with an alarm level of 2 or less. Okay, so this thing is specifically like the warning bell. It's the heat-seeking missile of the moon, and it is coming for me. Now, thankfully, I think I can just stay away ahead of it. Hopefully. Oh, it's this Lunar Patrol crap that's bothering me too. Okay, back to the investigation phase. I don't want to keep raising my alarm level. It's a panic hunter, basically, yeah. Actually, you know what? No, I want to save my time. So yeah, I'm gonna leave the black core, which raises my alarm level by 1. So now I'm at 7. And I reveal a new location. The dead temples on the mountains were so placed that they could have glorified no wholesome or suitable gods. I'm going to hit Witten Green because I'm going to use Witten Green because we are entering a new location. Search the top 9 for a card and draw it. No, not a card. A tome or relic asset, yeah. Oh yeah, and I've got my weaknesses back. That's great. Oh, well, there's an astounding revelation, at least. 2 resources. Luke is astounded to find the caves mirroring almost exactly the caves from above, or on the dark side of the moon. Now, naturally, he didn't map them in their entirety, so finding his way out is going to be a bit tricky. After you fail a skill test while investigating it, it reduces its shroud by 2. So I think I'm going to do that. Or I could try to... Okay, cool, Crosshair. Well, I'll keep playing in the meantime, Crosshair. Let's just try to get this clue, yeah? I have 6 intellect? Is that right? Witten? Hemispheric map? Hawkeye? 6 to 6? I'll spend 2 resources from Arcane Studies to be 8. I'll put in an Enraptured, spend another resource to be 10 to 6? Let's just try to get this clue. Having progressed through the core of the moon, I feel like Luke has come out the other side, like, completely, just completely... He understands now. You know what I mean? Like, Luke Robinson has sort of seen beyond the veil of reality, and he knows what he has to do. I'm going to say succeed or fail by 2. 10 to 6. That's still a pass. I did not succeed or fail by 2, but that's still a pass. So I get a charge on Gatebox. F yeah. And I get the clue off this location. Then, last action, we're going to keep moving, I think, right? Yeah. I don't have anything else I need to do, so we're gonna go into the light side, or onto the light side of the moon. The light side of the moon is a 5 shroud, 1 clue location with 2 victory points. I think I'm gonna try to get that. Action: test intellect 1 or agility 1 to attempt to hide amongst the ruins. For every 3 points you succeed by, reduce your alarm level by 1. In the symmetries of the broken columns, there seemed to lurk some dark and inner meaning, which did not invite solution. Okay, so that's how I reduce my alarm level. For every 3 points you succeed by? Ugh. The white ship, the mysterious ship's captain, cannot let you board until the pursuing moon beasts have retreated. You cannot enter while your alarm level is 5 or higher. Well, it's at 7 now. It's going to be 8 soon, I'm sure. So I'm going to have to do that a few times, but that's okay. In the enemy phase, a screeching sound from behind Luke as the moonbound Bayaki dives into the caverns. It, of course, is able to find its way both around and through the moon. It is a creature of the moon, and it is coming for him. Upkeep draws me a card, gains me a resource. Burning the Midnight Oil. Deeper Slumber still not happening, which is good. We go to 3 out of 4 Doom on this agenda again, because they're still upon me, and I draw an encounter card. It's forced into hiding again. Oh, this is much worse. Test will X. X is your alarm level. If you fail, lose an action. Okay. Naturally, the screeching of beasts and the ship's... Randolph informs Luke that the ship's captain will not let anyone board while there's such a hunt on. So Luke Robinson is indeed forced into hiding. What's my alarm level? It's at 7. I should just stack them, eh? Oop. Uh-oh, what have I done? Just gonna stack them in a pile. Did I run out of music again? I did. What are we at here? 7? Oh boy. Welcome back. Hello, Kung Fu Fenris. Sorry, I know you've never left, but like, hello. Okay. So I'm testing 8 to 7. I'd love to put in some... I'm gonna just... Whoa! Kung Fu Fenris, what? I would say why, but like, I don't have it open here, so you'll have to... We don't have to give me the Coles notes, but like, I'm curious, is everything okay? We're testing 8 to 7. I'm gonna spend my free resources from Arcane Studies, because I don't want to fail. So I'm gonna go 10 to 7. That's fine, that's fine. So I pass. Luke Robinson is able to find a hiding spot and kind of keep beneath the around the columns. Oh, okay, interesting, Kung Fu Fenris. Yeah, I mean, again, I can't speak for everyone on the ST team, but like, naturally, you know, the way that things are presented in the book versus the way that things are, is not going to be the same as how the ST team chooses to interpret things, right? Which is maybe a bit dissonant, but always, you know, just ask some questions if you need to. Welcome back, the Crosshair. Crosshair, just so you know, I was forced into hiding, but I succeeded, so didn't lose anything. And I will show you, Crosshair, the light side of the moon. 5 shroud, 1 clue, 2 victory points. We're going to get those. And then it says test intellect 1 or agility 1 to attempt to hide. For every 3 points you succeed by, reduce your alarm level by 1. Limit 1 success per round. So this is how I'm going to be able to get onto the white ship. Oh, cool. Okay, Kung Fu Fenris, that is great news. I'm really happy to hear that. Move back to the investigation phase, where I will attempt to get the clue here so that I can frickin' get some victory points. Please, let's read the signs. Again, let's recalculate things. Willpower and intellect. 5 and 4, 6 and 5, 7 and 5, 8 and 6. Okay, great. Yeah. So read the signs is allowing me to investigate at a 14 on this location. 14 to 5. That feels pretty good. Luke is attempting to... He's become... So you're saying there's a chance? Yes. Well, I mean, that's the thing, Crosshair. In this game, it's not that there's always a chance of success. Because, of course, there's always a chance of success. In this game, there's always a chance of failure. No matter how good you are at something, the eldritch forces in the universe can be aligned against you. 14 to 6. Not that time, though. That's good news. I'll take it. I'll get the clue off the location, which at least nets me another victory point. Huzzah. And then we're going to attempt to reduce our alarm level. Now, at the end of this round, my alarm's going to go back up anyway, but if I can sort of get one now and get one next time... Actually, if I get one now, I can... If I get enough now, I can just go onto the white ship. That seems unlikely. Test intellect 1. Now, I have 6 intellect. Luke Robinson has somehow... It's not that he's a quick study or a quick learner per se, but being in the Dreamlands, he's acclimatized himself to the logic here. If he doesn't want to be found, he won't be found. If his fear gets the better of him, then the Corsairs will find him. With that knowledge in mind, he's hiding amongst the columns, tucking himself under little sort of like headstones and tombs, and attempting to avoid detection. I have 6 intellect. I'm testing 6 to 1. I'm going hard on this. I'm going to go 7 with the Burning Midnight Oil, 11 with a Promise of Power, 12, 13 by spending resources with Arcane Studies. 13 to 1! Ka-chow! A Skull, which is -4. So it's 9 to 1. So I succeed by 8. So, almost succeeded 3 times. Okay, succeed twice, which removes 2 alarm level. And now I have 5. Ah, balls! You cannot enter the white ship when your alarm level is 5 or higher. Son of a... That's fine. It's fine, it's fine. I can only succeed once per round, so I'm not even going to bother testing it again. I just have to wait here. What am I going to do with my last action? Take a resource? Draw a card? If I draw a card, it might be a weakness, so I'll just take a resource. The patrols seem to be venturing further and further away. They've sent out their best, right? The Bayakis, the creatures that can fly on wings of darkness. And in fact, they are coming closer. They're flying through the core at the moment. Upkeep draws me a card and gains me a resource. It's another promise of power. I'll take it. Mythos takes me back to 4 out of 4 doom. We've already seen the backside of this agenda. Raise each investigator's alarm level by 1. Each investigator takes horror equal to half their alarm level rounded up. Reset the agenda. Place 2 doom on it. So, doom. I'm going to heal a horror from Virgil Gray because it lets me when I get an alarm. And then I have to take 3 horror. I'll put 1 on me and I'll put 2 on Virgil. Sorry, buddy. Okay. We're almost there. We are so close to making it off this gosh forsaken moon as we draw an encounter card. Of course, though. This is the Corsair of Ling. It spawns at the nearest city or surface location. Well, sure, of course that's here. Why would it be anywhere else? You son of a... It's a 2/4/2. That is super bad. Once more into the... Okay. Okay. Could evade. My plan is evade, reduce my alarm level enough, and then walk onto the white ship. This leaves the Corsairs kind of frightened. I think I can do it. If I evade with the sword cane, drawing his mystical weapon that he has somehow dreamt up, Luke Robinson brandishes it at the Corsairs and hopes to use it to be able to fend them off for long enough to be able to, not succeed, but to be able to get away. So I'm evading with my willpower. I have 4, 5, I'm just checking, 6, 7, 8 willpower. 8 to 5 feels pretty good. I'll spend a resource on Arcane Studies to be 9 to 5, and I'll say succeed or fail by 2. 10 to 5. Okay, that's a big success. So that's fine. So big evasion. The Corsairs are driven off, rushing through the sand on the light side of the moon, trying to find him. Luke Robinson is now going to attempt to hide amongst the ruins. I have to succeed by a bunch. Like a bunch. I have 6 intellect. I'm going 6 to 1. I'm going to throw in a promise of power. Because I'm an idiot. But to be 10 to 1. I'll spend the resource off Arcane Studies. 11, 12, 13 to 1? Is that crazy? Let's test 13 to 1. 12 to 1 is a success by a factor of 11, so I remove 3 alarm. Okay, that's really good. The promise of power here is, again, it's this knowledge that Luke has, the power within himself to do anything that he desires. I'm going to spend my last action to move onto the boat, which will remove some of my hemispheric map stuff, but that's okay. You cannot enter the white ship when your alarm level is 5 or higher. It's fine. I managed to hide from them long enough and smart enough to get onto the white ship. You cannot enter while it is 5 or higher. Fine. After the white ship is revealed, put the set aside the captain into play. Ooh. Oh, captain, my captain. Who the hell are you? Oh, sick! It's like Gandalf or something. The captain is a Dreamlands navigator. Ooh. He's also a dreamer. Sure. If each undefeated investigator is at the white ship, parlay. Test Will X or Intellect X to convince the captain to set sail, sorry. X is the highest alarm level among the investigators. If you succeed, advance the act. Incredible. I think it... You know what, actually? Honestly, Kung Fu Fenris, that actually might be legit here. Hooded, bearded, robed figure. He's the Dreamlands navigator. I don't know what that means exactly, specifically, but he is in the Dreamlands, which is pretty sweet. And he definitely, this galley looks like it could be Viking to me. However, I'm out of actions. So, in the enemy phase, the Bayaki screeches towards us, towards Luke on the ship. Upkeep draws us a card and gains us a resource. Occult Invocation. Wainamoinen from Kalevala. Oh, I want to put the 2 dots on the I. That's why I'm saying Vaina, but it's not. It's Vanamoyen. I don't know how to pronounce that. Why did I think I did? We got a 3 out of 4 Doom. And we draw an encounter card here on the white ship. What the fuck? It's the other Moonbound Bayaki. It's on the surface location. Yeah, don't even try. What are you doing? Oh my god, where is the nearest surface location? It's here at the light side of the moon. Okay, that's fine because we returned to the investigation phase, and guess what friggin' time it is, man. Luke strides onto the ship, stands in front of the captain, who bars his way forward. The captain says nothing. Luke takes a deep breath to attempt to explain what it is that he wants to do, and then realizes that that's not how this man will respond. This man will respond to a fellow dreamer with a goal, with some sort of power in him. Oh, for sure. Absolutely, Kung Fu Fenris. And he's simply going to basically demand him with force of will to set sail. Test Will X to convince the captain to set sail. X is the highest alarm level. Well, I have 3 now. So I'm testing 7 to 3, and I'll make it 9 with my Arcane Studies money. Study money. 9 to 3. Curse, +1. 10 to 3. 0. Luke strides on board, glittering sword cane at his side, companions behind him, camera in hand that has taken photos the likes of which no human will ever see again, or perhaps has ever seen before. He points at the captain and he says, "Set sail. We are leaving this place." And the captain does, I think. Oh, if you succeed, advance the act. Great. Act 4B. The captain. With your party safely aboard the white ship, you beseech its captain to leave the moon at once. You have no desire to stay in this perilous place any longer than you have to. Oh, damn it. He says, "Not yet." The captain replies with an amiable smile. You plead with him, but he raises a hand in a gesture of silence, peering out into the distance. You squint against the light of the sun, which hangs static in the dark sky. There, miles away, you spot the thing that drew the captain's eye. A bird with many wings and even more colors, its feathers bright and vivid. It perches on a ruined stone structure and preens itself. Then, just as your patience is beginning to wear thin, it launches itself into space, and the captain pulls up the ship's anchor. Resolution 1. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled that we did that. R1. As the white galley glides silently back towards the earth, its captain sings a soft melodic shanty which the ship's oarsmen repeat. You seem to know the language well, despite having never heard it before. You ask after your course, but the bearded man does not reply other than to continue his harmonious song. You plead with him to aid you in your search for unknown Kadath, believing it to be of the utmost importance. You should not seek to disturb the gods, the man warns, his song interrupted. They are far greater than you or I. Do you not see the folly in your ambition? You beseech him once more, telling him you must bring back proof of the Dreamlands and cannot return home without the aid of the gods. Would that be so dire a fate? Look around you. You do as the captain requests, and are met with a scene of such serene beauty that it leaves you breathless. The seas below glitter in the moonlight like an ocean of diamonds. Along the horizon you see crystalline coastlines, blissful countrysides, lush mountain vistas, and emerald green gardens. The air is crisp and cool as you descend below the clouds. Your heart swells with the sweet fragrance of flowers from a nearby coast. Never in all your years in reality have you experienced a beauty so real. Maybe staying wouldn't be so bad. You've already spent months in this land. There have been hardships, yes, but could you really return to your mundane reality after everything you've seen and experienced in this wondrous land? This is, of course, underscored by Luke Robinson just thinking to himself over and over, but what about Tony? What about Tony? I left Tony behind. Then, far to the north, you see it, looming just over the horizon, or perhaps beyond the dreams of Earth itself. A white peak, atop which sits an azure beacon of refracted moonlight. The bearded man follows your gaze. So be it, he sighs. He changes course, following now behind a celestial bird whose plumage matches the vibrant sky. We sail to the abode of the gods themselves. Me too, Kung Fu Fenris. This is slick. The investigators traveled to the cold wastes, and Randolph survived the voyage. We traveled to the cold wastes, and Randolph survived. That's nice. Survived. Each investigator earns experience equal to Victory X. Record 3 tally marks next to Evidence of Kadath, and then you have to go play Scenario 3B. So we're going to do that soon. Okay, 3 more tally marks under Evidence of Kadath takes us up to 8. I still don't know what that does. Let's have a look at our victory points. 2 for the Moon Lizard. Blood for the Blood God. 2 for the Light Side of the Moon. That's 4. 5 for City of the Moon Beast. 6 for Temple of the Moon Lizard. Another 7. 7 for Moon Forest. I'll take it. We're happy. I'm definitely going to need this experience for something next time. Scenario 3B, point of... Well, it takes you to... Yeah, exactly. It takes us to Unknown Kadath. That's correct. And specifically, Kung Fu Fenris, the last scenario in this side of the campaign is called Where the Gods Dwell, which we are... Well, we're not going to make it, but it's it's definitely exciting all the same. Mission accomplished. Thank you I'd say so, Crosshair. All things considered, the power of Luke Robinson. Thank you all very much for joining me. We could go home. Could we go home? Is that what you're saying, Kung Fu Fenris? Hit me up. Thank you all very much for joining me. Tomorrow on RPG Clinic, no RPG, but we are going to be playing some video games. We don't have a cape, so we're not going to be playing RPGs. But we are going to be playing games. Join us at 5 p.m. Eastern on RPG Clinic. I'm on Tuesday at 6 p.m. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines continues. Which I'm excited about. And hopefully you can join me next week or whenever the next scenario is for Tony Morgan, the I'm getting the snot kicked out of me side, the waking side of the Dreamlands. What a disaster. And we'll see how that one goes down. As always, just to relax, I like to tug and udder. Hey, thanks very much for the follow. Thank you all very much for joining me tonight on the stream. Hope to catch you around next time. And what does a horse eat? Good times. GG indeed. I'm just curious what quote 669 is. I'd like to blow your ears. Oh, God. All right, anyway. Thank you all very much for joining me. Have a wonderful night. Take care of yourselves. Drink your water. Do what you need to do. And see you around the place. Bye.